everyone, it's Four Corners and welcome to a video where I watched all the Ninjago Virtues of Spinjitzu shorts at 0.25 speed, which is super slow. And originally I didn't really expect to find much because these aren't full-length, high-quality Ninjago episodes, they're just shorts, but I was pretty surprised at the results. And one more thing before we actually get into this giant list is I really did watch all the Ninjago Virtues of Spinjitzu shorts at 0.25 speed. So a subscribe and like would be greatly appreciated if you enjoyed this video. It tells me to make more like this and also keeps the channel going. So that would be really appreciated. So starting off with the curiosity short, when we come to the part where Kai and Jay are both breaking bricks to see who gets the cookie, we actually see why Jay quits, and that's because he struggles, and they show that struggle when his lightning explodes at the very beginning, showing some stress in his breaking ability. But Kai doesn't have any sort of sparks or anything. He just slices through all these bricks, showing that he can do this with ease and he can actually do more if he wanted to. And that's why Jay quits right away and Kai gets the cookie instead of Jay trying to do more and failing at that. And then later we see Cole leaning on the same structure of bricks Jay was using. So those bricks weren't just placed so that Master Wu could hit Cole and teach him about balance. They were actually there and Cole went and used those. So, you know, it's not a very big detail over there. And we're gonna get bigger details later. But this is definitely something I like because it shows that they really thought of these. And the Virtues of Spinjitzu shorts aren't as random as I thought they were going to be. Jay was going to eat the last cookie that was supposed to be Kai's since Kai won that brick breaking contest, but he never ended up getting it because Master Wu came in and distracted them with the virtue. So Jay thought he could secretly eat that cookie, but then it gets flicked out of his hand. Zane tries to give it to Kai, who rightfully deserves it, but then the chicken takes the cookie. And in the last episode, the chicken gives the cookie back to Cole. So that's a lot of story for just one chicken and one cookie. It emphasizes further Jay's virtue of honesty. Jay was going to be dishonest with that last cookie and Master Wu taught him the virtue and Jay didn't end up getting the cookie because of his dishonesty. Next up we have the balance short, and we start off with a pretty hilarious detail. Kai actually knocks down Lloyd in his curiosity to go ahead and see the lava lake, and we can actually see Lloyd scratching his head in the background later, so poor Lloyd over there. Then I kind of noticed Zane's symbol had a metallic shine. It's not a huge detail and I'm pretty sure it's been there for a while. I just didn't know his symbol had that metallic flare over there until now. Then after a while, when the ninja all find themselves in dead ends and Cole finds his balance and starts to power up, he actually does this earth breakdance move. And that's something I really like with new Ninjago. They do these breakdance moves to get into Spinjitzu and stuff like that. But he actually does the same thing he does in season 11 when he has to ground pound. But the only difference is in season 11 he goes up, does the weird camera shot, and then comes down with this breakdance, while here he does the breakdance and does that different camera shot later. So it's kind of in reverse over there. And then Cole uses everyone's path in order to find his balance and defeat the lava monster and get to the other side of the portal. He uses the chains just like Jay did. He uses the pillars on the lava floor like Zane and Nia and Kai, and he also uses the poles on the side that Lloyd uses. So he balanced the situation and found the best route out. It's not just random jumping into different places. And a really cool detail is the dragon eyes. They're actually inaccurate to the set. They're glowing right now, right? Well, that's what I thought at first too. They're inaccurate, but when the dragons turn nice and not powered up, like when they're near friends, their eyes actually turn back into pupils, which is super cool. It gives the dragon life and a non-robot-like look when they're just with the ninja. It gives them more life, but when they're fighting, it makes them look so much more cooler. And that applies to the fire dragon as well as Jay's dragon, not the main green dragon that's been snatching Master Wu all around. Then we have the wisdom short taking place in the Speedway 5 billion. Straight off the bat, you're gonna notice that in the stadium, the people cheering on actually has one of the Jays from the League of Jays in Prime Empire cheering Lloyd on, as well as Little Nelson. He's there too. And I have a feeling that they reused a shot from the actual Prime Empire because we got a similar shot with Little Nelson and also a Jay from that league in the actual season, so I'm pretty sure they reused a shot. I think I'll let someone in the comments clarify that. And looking at the Ninja Tuner car that Nia is driving right now, it's able to hover, which is a really cool feature, but when it hovers, it activates this green flame. But something I noticed is that this green flame doesn't stay. It just provides the initial thrust, and then after that, those purple discs, the halo things, those are the things that keep the tuner car flying as it races through the Speedway 5 billion. So that's a pretty cool small detail, and that's why those halos exist in the car. They're just not there for aesthetic. After that, we have a possible Hands of Time symbol in Prime Empire. So in the back, we see a clock with the cog on the side, and obviously maybe that's just for the Speedway 5 billion design. They want a clock with a gear just to show that this is all about cars and vehicles and things like that. But the Hands of Time had the same symbol. They had the clock and then the gear on the outside. So that's a possible connection over there. I don't know where the Time Twins are right now, but hopefully they show up pretty soon in the actual Ninjago seasons. One last detail for this short is that all the main symbols that we see on the ninja hoods for the main team, they put all of them in the sign behind the portal. And actually you'll see this a lot through this episode. They have the same sign going throughout the whole Speedway 5 billion, but it's still a pretty cool detail, and there's actually a lot of signs that translate into some pretty fun things, but that would make this video go on forever. Next up, we have the Honesty short taking place in the Neverrealm, and the first detail is a little weird, and it involves the fire dragon, the one whose pupil can go from fiery to normal. Well, that dragon, when it's not in its flight mode and not in its super fiery mode, its wings are actually just a skeleton frame, nothing in between, which is kind of gross looking, but at the same time it's a good detail that I'm happy they thought of, because what else would it have in the middle? I mean, its wings are completely made out of fire, and when the fire isn't there, it's not like skin would magically appear. This does not apply to Jay's dragon, however, because Jay's dragon doesn't have lightning wings. It would be cool to have lightning wings, but that's just not how his dragon works. Something else is that the fake Ice Emperor in the short doesn't have the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu in his staff, unlike the real Zane Ice Emperor, which definitely did, and that's to, I guess, further emphasize that this is not the real Ice Emperor. He just has a ice staff. That's a very small but cool detail. It really shows how much they thought about these shorts, even though it might not seem like it. The Lightning Dragon, after Jay loses his joust, actually looks at Jay kind of knowing that Jay was dishonest, because these dragons know a Wu's plan. They're kind of in on this too. And it looks like this dragon was smart enough to know that Jay was dishonest, and it kind of looks like it's waiting for Jay to come out with the honesty. One last detail for the short is the back pillar for this ice castle says freeze. If you translate that from the Ninjago language to English, it says freeze, which is a very ominous detail. Then we have Generosity, Zane's short, taking place in the mines of Shintaro. First off, this isn't really much of a hidden detail, but it looks really cool, and that is that Zane's Spinjitzu starts to swirl around him before he does anything, which looks sick. Another fun thing is that in the back, when Zane's talking to the geckos, the two geckos in the back actually find themselves a skull. And this skull is actually still alive, so originally they're pretty happy to see the skull, and when the skull starts chomping and gets away, one of those geckos is absolutely traumatized. He's fine later, but at that moment, he is completely frozen and scared, which is hilarious. Then a final thing I want to point out involves the Spinjitzu scene. And Spinjitzu in general has gotten an animation upgrade. They have more shades when it comes to colors, and it's more 3D looking instead of just a 2D object zooming in. I mean, just look at Jay's Spinjitzu in the background. It looks absolutely cool, and I can't wait to see this in an actual Ninjago season going forward, because DHX is constantly improving, and I can't wait to see all the tricks that they put into these shorts incorporated into the main Ninjago TV series. But one thing that definitely excites me here is Cole has orange in his Spinjitzu, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. We got orange in Cole's Spinjitzu back in season 8 and 9 and 10, and I'm definitely not a fan of his all dirt Spinjitzu. It doesn't look very cool. Orange in Cole's powers is definitely the way to go, and it looks like they might be doing that for a upcoming Ninjago season. Also, you can kind of see Nia's head in her Spinjitzu, which I haven't seen before with any of the ninja or Spinjitzu in general. Then we have the Courage short. This is the last one and it takes place in the island. There's actually not much here. It's a very basic short when it comes to hidden details in the background. But the back wheels of the tuner car turn just like the front wheels, which is a small detail and kind of cool. And I guess it makes sense for the tuner car to do that because the wheels can go up and down to hover. So I assume the back wheels would be as flexible as the front wheels. And then finally, for the last scene, we have the dragons diving into a portal. Wu kind of winks, and then the episode shows that not everything in these shorts were fake, as the dragons leave back to probably the realm of the Oni and dragon. They don't just dive back into Ninjago, but they start swirling around just like a dragon does when they need to travel to another realm. And that brings us to the end of this video where I watched all the Ninjago Virtues Spinjitzu shorts in 0.25 speed. Comment down below which was your favorite hidden detail. I can't wait to do this for an actual Ninjago episode when season 16 finally comes out, because I bet there's a lot more cooler things over there, because here we were kind of nitpicking on some very minor stuff, and you know, some of the stuff wasn't too huge because these are shorts after all. We can't expect too much out of these. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this. This seriously took a lot of effort and a lot of time to go through, so that would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you like so I know you guys like this type of video and I can keep it going. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.